What's good, my people? Flash Speaks back. All right, just finished watching the New York Liberty versus the Chicago Sky. Obviously, the New York Liberty took this, so this will be the second back-to-back that they won. 81-67. This moves the New York Liberty to 20-4, which is the league's best record, and it drops the Chicago Sky to 9-14. All right, when I saw the beginning of this game, Chicago Sky got off to a good start. You're talking about a game that did not have the NBA reigning MVP, Brianna Stewart, and was put pretty much in the hands of Sabrina Ionescu. However, this team that the New York Liberty has is also talented, very talented. You know, we talk about Jonquel Jones. We're talking about they got some good work from some of the bench players and so on. All right, so what's the tale of the tape here? At the end of the day, at the end of it all, this is what you're looking at. You're looking at two different teams. You're looking at two teams that are at totally two different points in their development. All right, when you talk about the New York Liberty, they're a team that has been put together over a number of different years. Right, they were, I believe, in the finals last year. All right, and like I said, they got they got the MVP. And then they got one of the best players in the world, Sabrina Ionescu, who showed that she was the best player on the floor by far. A point guard that is able to amass stats and somehow magically not turn the ball over, which is what a point guard is supposed to do. Now, there were a number of issues here, okay? We could talk about the officials, and the officials were absolutely horrendous. There's no doubt about it. If you look at the game, it looks as if they are biased for New York, but I don't really. I'll explain why it looks that way. All right, but the Chicago loses the game here. Okay, you're talking about 17 turnovers versus 5 turnovers for the New York Liberty. What does that tell you? This tells you that you have one team that's in sync and another team that's not in sync. The New York Liberty have a point guard that's one of the best in the world. One of the best in the world, Sabrina Ionescu. All right, when you have the better point guard, you should have less turnovers. The point guard is the floor general who decides who goes where. They initiate passes. They don't make stupid-ass passes in order to try to look fancy and none of that. No. They control the game, control the pace. This is the difference in the game. Okay, Sabrina Ionescu versus the Chicago point guard. All right, so the New York go out there to get 21 assists as a team. 21 assists to Chicago's 15 assists. Right there, that tells you it's a bunch of players Chicago got playing together that aren't in sync. They don't know each other. Spoon, for some reason, is still trying to figure out her rotation. Right, until you kind of get there and you have the rotation down, you're not going to be a consistent team that is going to consistently beat a team like the Liberty. Like now, once in a while, you can jump out there and get one if you catch them on an off night and everything is going well for you. But in most cases, 8 out of 10 times, 4 out of 5 times, whatever way you want to look at it, you're not going to beat the Liberty with any type of regularity. They're just not there. And this is okay. The Chicago Sky, at the end of the day, are a work in progress. It is what it is. If they can make the playoffs, make it as an 8th seed or whatever, they have overachieved. Thus far, that's what they have. They've overachieved as a team. I mean, this is just the reality. They were a team. Remember, every WNBA team has a 12-woman roster. Chicago Sky had 7 or 8 new players. Last year, they had players like Chennedy Carter, who was one of the best players in the world, who was on the Phoenix Mercury, who dropped 36 last night, and many others. Okay, you talking about new players. 2 of their best players, well, their 3 best players are new to the team. Angel Reese, Chennedy Carter, and I would say next is Cardosa. One could argue maybe Marina Mabry, but those 3, Cardosa, Angel, and Kennedy are new to the team. All right, and that's not to make excuses, but this explains. Okay, so you got New York Liberty who have their core, have been there together, and you just saw it today. They have their system down. Their ball movement is beautiful. This is really why. I mean, we could point to Chicago not playing well. We could say the defense was bad. I don't believe Chicago. I'll put it this way: their defense was made to look bad. Chicago doesn't have a bad defense, but when you have beautifully ran offense where the ball is being moved, you have all types of beautiful action, ball screen action, give and go action. When you have all of this going on, it will make a great defensive team look bad at times, right? I saw them do this to the Connecticut Sun, who have, probably arguably the best defense in the league, right? So I'm not going to go in too bad on Chicago right here. Um, sure, we could have gotten better performances from Chennedy Carter, who had the worst game I've ever seen her have. Those things can happen. Off shooting night. Maybe she should have been attacking the rim a little bit more. Maybe they weren't allowing that to happen. Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso didn't produce like you expected, especially on the scoring end, because there was a lot of packing the paint. Beautiful strategy by New York. Pack that paint. So that way Cardoso and Reese don't just dominate you down there. So that way they don't just dump in entry passes and just kill you. There was a lot of that going on. And then too much Sabrina Ionescu, who decided, all right, look, I'm the best out here. I got this. I'm going to pull this out. So you had all of that. You had the beautiful ball movement. Great effort by Jacquel Jones as well. And then you have Sabrina Ionescu, who just decided, hey, look, I'm the best out here. It is what it is. She took on the challenge and just balled the hell out. So Ionescu gave us 28 points. Where's Ionescu's whole line? Here's what I'm looking for. All right, now the other tale of the story was this as well. And to the naked eye, what you had was 16 personal fouls called against the Chicago Sky to 11 personal fouls called on the New York Liberty. And at one point, it was so lopsided that it was 8 personal fouls called on the New York Liberty and 16 called on the Chicago Sky. I do believe the officials were at a certain point were on some bullshit. I do believe that. But a lot of times you see that comes as a result of like an offense not in sync. When your offense is clunky and funky looking, you'll find yourself in these situations where you're just not going to get calls. And sometimes, that's what happens. New York probably gets the easy whistle because they're a marquee team, right? But then you had 3 technical fouls, which I think were all bullshit against Chicago. Those are the technical fouls I hate. I hate for referees to be on some bullshit called constant fouls on a team and then act like they got a fucking attitude when, that team snaps. Like, right? That's just bullshit. Like, if I'm out there and I'm trying to make a comeback, so I'm really trying my best to play on defense, and this is what Angel Reese was doing. She's trying to make a comeback. And those officials just want to keep calling fucking offensive fouls and keep calling little ticky-tack, little bullshit fouls. And then on the other end, when she's being aggressive on offense, you're not calling fouls. People are human. They fucking lose it. And then the official want to act like, oh, how dare you, act like you want to snap on me, right? That's when the officials are in their feelings, and then it becomes an ego thing. And then it just kind of snowballed. It got all turned into some bullshit out there. Now, the best way you deal with it is Angel Reese just has to keep her composure because it's a no-win situation. It's like dealing with a police officer who got his ego. He stops you for no fucking reason, and then he wants to start talking shit. Just don't even talk back. Just keep you cool, keep you calm, because arguing with this Joker is just a no-win situation. He has the upper hand. The fucking judge is going to give him deference. Everything is in his favor. Just get your ass up out of there. It's the same type of idea when dealing with officials. It's kind of a no-win situation. So just keep you cool. But I do understand the frustration. 3 technical fouls on the Sky, and it just got ugly. Other things we could look at here, and this is what's interesting. The New York Liberty shot 36 3-pointers. Good Lord, 36 3-pointers. And the Chicago Sky only shot 15, making 7 of them. New York Liberty made 11 of them. But it's amazing that they got that many damn possessions. That's what's amazing. Where in the Chicago Sky actually out rebounded them 41-28. Like, these numbers really don't make a lot of sense. So where you make up with it is the New York Liberty. They got 21 assists. That's the ball movement. That's an offense that's together. And you got the turnover battle. That's really what did it. That's what did it. We got to go back to 17 freaking turnovers for the Chicago Sky. You just can't do it and win. You cannot do it and win. 5 turnovers for the Liberty. Man, you do that, you're gonna win every damn time. You cannot turn the ball over 17 times in a 40-minute game. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. But at a certain point in the game, Chicago, like I said, had a 7-point lead. But what they were doing was not sustainable, and this is something I'm seeing regularly, is getting unsustainable leads. Oftentimes the leads are Marina Mabry getting hot, shooting threes like in the beginning of the game, and then Mabry tails off at the end of the game. It could be because she tails off. It could be because the other team adjusts to it. Whatever it is, I'm noticing this pattern here. Mabry hot, beginning of the game, tail off at the end of the game. And then sometimes people are blaming the guards. But really, it's the guards that got you up there in the beginning. But I don't argue with anyone who points at the point guard situation. There's no doubt about it. When you have 17 turnovers, you have a problem at point guard. Now some of them are offensive, turnovers as well. As far as like, because I know Angel Reese, she had about 2 offensive fouls. I mean, they were really on some bullshit when it came to the physicality. And when you have referees or officials calling that type of game, it favors the offensive team versus the defensive team. And that's part of what happened tonight. Let me look at some of these personal games here by some of these players. The Chicago Sky are not the highest scoring team. Like, they really need, points from Chennedy Carter. That she's their best scorer, right? She's their best scorer, and you cannot have Chennedy Carter go out there and score 7 points. Now, she was taking out a lot of minutes. I don't know, in the second half. I think she was brought in a little too late in favor of the Michaela Onyenwere in the beginning of the second half. Now, listen, I like this Michaela, but I'm starting to wonder, maybe she should be taking minutes from Mabry. Mabry did give us 21 and 12, so Mabry's not going to lose her spot, but Mabry put up 21, 12, and 7. But her shooting, I think Mabry is shooting too much. I don't know if that's the coach telling her to shoot. I don't know if it's like, all right, I'm the vet on the team, I need to shoot. I don't know what it is, but it helps at times, but then it hurts at times as well. Isabel Harrison all of a sudden just gets 9 minutes when she was in love with her before. Cardosa didn't look really great on the stat line here. You have 6 points, 5 rebounds. So, for all of us, who want her in there so much, this is what happens. Spoon puts her in there, and it's all right. She got 34 minutes. Now what? Right? That's the way that works, right? Making us look like we don't know what the hell we're talking about. And she might be right to a degree. Camilla did not have the best game. What I want to see going forward, I believe, if you can get this Michaela and Chennedy Carter to learn to play together, hopefully that's what they'll work on during this break. If you can get those 2 players to play together, and I say this because, in my opinion, they're the most dynamic players on the team. Chennedy Carter by far is the most dynamic player. But I like this Michaela Onyenwere, number 12. I believe she is dynamic as well. If you can go with Reese Cardosa and even have Mabry as your floor spacer, go with this Michaela and Chennedy Carter. They learn to play together. I think this team can do something, can make some noise after the break. So that's pretty much my breakdown on it. The other thing, Angel Reese, solid game, 16 rebounds, 8 points. She was not her best from scoring here, so but I know I'm just not worried about her. She man, you don't understand how high of an IQ player she is. A lot of the subtle little things that she does, calling screens, directing traffic, all of those types of things. She's without a doubt a keeper. 16 rebounds, just 8 points. A lot of it is dealing with the tough defense that Jonquel Jones, you got to give her credit. There they were packing the paint very well, blocking a lot of her shots. She needs to diversify a lot of her shot portfolio. you know, still work on that little mid-range jumper. She's missing some of those. Not the best, not the best for her, but this here break is going to help all of these rookies who weren't used to playing or not used to playing this much in college. Also, you got to look at the fact that she had a deep college run, which jumped right into the WNBA thing. That's all the rookies around the league. Sometimes they hit a wall, and I think she's kind of going through that. But she's such a fighter. She still goes out and gets 16 rebounds and still plays, what I felt was still some solid defense. We look at the exact defensive numbers for Angel here, because it's important that we're going to do our Angel tracker. Finally, the damn double-double streak ends. Good God. Okay? Because that thing was a distraction. The double-double streak to me was just a distraction from these wins and losses. We need to go out there and win these games. Real people are not about that. Like, it's a cute little thing to go, get your little make history stuff. I'm all for that, but when it becomes a distraction, then I'm not with it. All right, I'm looking for the breakdown of Angel Reese's game today. Let's see. Okay, wow. Okay, so she was a minus 13 today. Wow, really? Huh. I gotta look up. Why was that the case? 16 rebounds, 8 points for minus 13. That is wild. 100% from the free throw line. 23% from the field. That's horrible. 1 steal. Yeah, not the best game for Angel. Not the best game at all. Happens though. Happens. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much my breakdown of the game that I saw. Chicago Sky though, you'll get they need to figure out the rotation. They need to work on their money plays that they can go to that they know gets a quick bucket. And then allow their dynamic players. I like this Michaela and also Chennedy Carter to learn to play together. I think they can be. I really do believe they can do something. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it for me. Peace out.